You look at me and you're frustrated that I'm looking at you right now, but there are people that for your birthday say Zeke Baker Cold Open King. You know I'm going to friggin' look at you right now.
Apparently there's this new thing, I guess, with the whole, like health craze, organic line, so to speak. Apparently now they have organic lube.
Really?
Organic lube.
Is it? I mean, I feel like all lube is plant-based anyway.
You know, I thought that myself, and then you see this package and it says organic, and you kind of wonder, like, well, what makes it organic?
The plants were made organically?
So inevitably, you have to ask the question, the proverbial you. Well, then you hear back, I don't know, goat secretions?
Really?
That's when it went south. All I know was I heard goat secretions and I had to leave.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Edwards, and with me is Zeke Baker, and together we make the Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us a part of your day. And Zeke, thank you for teaching me something new tonight. Organic goat secretion lube.
I mean, I've not confirmed the goat secretions. The only thing that was confirmed by that it was not a turn on. Especially growing up in the country and you see things like this, and that's all you see in your mind.
You're like, shoot, I could have gone out in the backyard growing up and made my own organic lube.
Yeah, I mean, you ever seen a goat run that thing out there? They can dial that thing in and move it around.
All I gotta say is that we have some friends here, and it was killing them in the cold open, because I like to really focus on you during the cold open and make it all about Zeke Baker. And they were dying because they really wanted to pick up the microphone. We're gonna go around the room, see who they are. Chris, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much for having us. Long-time listener, first-time caller. But no, I totally resonate with everything that you guys do. And I'm a father myself. I've got 3 daughters, 3, 6, and 9. So much more bourbon in my future for sure.
You know, I heard a story one time. There was a guy who actually took dog food and he opened it up and he rinsed the can. You know, he took all the dog food out. And he rinsed the can out in the dishwasher and then put like soup in there.
Oh no.
So then when the daughter's boyfriend came over, he looked like he was eating dog food out of the can.
That's terrible.
That's supposed to impress somebody?
No, it's supposed to scare the daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah, because she might be ignorant as her dad is. It's the wrong kind of scare.
I love the Zeke Baker logic.
I mean, granted, she probably would believe a lot of things too.
We have another friend here, our friend Gideon. I do say this with pride. Gideon, you co-hosted our second most downloaded show ever.
Wow.
With me. And it was when we drank Kentucky Owl 8 and the Pinhook Bourbon Country. The one where everybody got mad at me because I said Kentucky Owl 8 was only a bottle share. And we got some hate mail.
Wow, did you really?
Yeah, I said I'm not going to spend $300.
I'm pretty on point with that.
It's a good pour. It's not $300 pour.
Exactly.
So we got some hate mail.
I'm sorry.
It wasn't directed at you. People loved you.
Dude, you know what it was? They probably saw me on the internet and they were like, damn, that guy's ugly.
No, they wanted your number, actually.
I thought it was over the word apricot.
And it was not over the word apricot.
Hey, this is a hat trick for Gideon, right? This is the third one?
I think it's third or fourth.
Yeah, third or fourth. It's glad to be back. This is a blast.
Yeah.
I love being here.
We are live from the Whiskey House.
Yeah, we are.
Or pre-recorded from the Whiskey House.
This is recorded live, editing, and then played later.
Right now,
what does that mean?
But
we are pre-recorded at the Whiskey House. And so, Gideon, how have you been? What have you been up to?
Man, I've been great. You know, touring season, drinking a lot of booze, and
can you say who you're playing with? Because you're playing with some new people now, right?
No, still with the same guy. I'm still with Cash Campbell. His guitar.
No, but they didn't know that. The last time you were on, you weren't playing with Cash.
I guess I wasn't. No. Yeah, I play for that country artist now and do that thing. And
didn't you get on a song you played in the studio, one that just got pretty big?
I did. Yeah. I was fortunate enough to play on Sam Hunt's new single, Kinfolks. Played steel on that track, and it was a blast.
And every time I went around town, I saw that billboard, and I'm like, my bro, he played on that.
Like, it's my boy. I know that guy.
Yeah. You're my boy, Blue.
Hey, we did that pick.
Last but not least, we have our friend John.
Hey,
As you guys be careful as we're moving the mic. As you, both of you know more than everybody, those microphones pick up everything.
yeah, just giving you a little shuffle.
So, like, Chris, as you're putting it on your chest, it's probably getting your shirt,
That's
all
little
that
chest
fun
rub.
stuff.
good to know. Yeah.
Just getting his heartbeat. It's okay.
Zeke has it by his.
I got a fart coming on.
I wish you could see the picture of where that microphone is.
I feel like I should take a picture.
I feel like that
anyway.
microphone's having a bad day.
I'm gonna wash that microphone.
Is there Lysol for that microphone? Because you might need it.
I probably do. But John, long-time listener, first-time caller.
First time caller. Yeah, glad to be here.
We're glad to have you here. Now, John is famous for being the porch. If you're looking for the weekend,
Yeah.
for the porch that Zeke is most likely drinking and smoking cigars on, it's John's porch.
It's a good porch to be on, honestly. It's nice and big.
I've
filled
heard
with whiskey.
good things.
Yeah. We've
That-
got good pours on that porch.
You got nothing, Zeke?
Oh, he's busy with his microphone in the
Didn't
wrong
know I was
place.
supposed to lead in on anything.
Well, I mean, that's your porch friend. You want to talk about drinking on his porch?
It's a good time.
Would you call it porch time?
That's been drank there, among other things. And, it's usually one of the good spots where, you do break out the good pours for the good friends. So, that's one of the good places where I can put something on the Instagram story of, look what the dads drinking bourbon are drinking. Then John gets messaged. I don't know what the F y'all are talking about. I haven't had this ever. Oh, wait, asshole Zeke. Thanks.
I really should mention that because we just got Zeke drank that celebration and he put a story up. And I don't know if any of you saw it, but I probably got 30 messages. Hey, how good is Michter's celebration? I'm like, shit, I don't know. And I said, go ask Zeke. But Zeke does these things where it's like a hit and run. Like he posts a story and then he gets the hell out of town. So he'll post this, and it's not like he comes back to check on the carnage that happens after he posts his story.
Oh, no, you're going to rue the day you taught me how to do stories.
I already
At first, John thought it was a good thing. Like, all right, look, I know you don't like to post much, but you can do stories. It's really simple. I'll show you how. You just slide the screen over, click, type some words, and go. I'm like, I can probably figure this out. I'm not too damn dumb.
Yeah.
And then I realized, wait, I can turn this into epic trolls. Because I don't read messages. John reads messages.
It was the best and worst day ever because it was the day that we picked the JD Barrel Proof. And I taught him how to do stories, and I hate it. But speaking of things that are good, I want to let you know today's show is sponsored by our friends at CaskCartel.com, changing the industry standard as to how you receive your alcohol. They will ship it directly to your door. If you're like Zeke and it's late night, you're sitting on the couch, you got a drink in one hand, can't really go to the store at that point and get some more. He goes with his other hand, he picks up his phone, he goes CaskCartel.com, and he'll get whiskey, scotch, bourbon, tequila, gin, Amaro, whatever it is. He gets it shipped directly to his door using CaskCartel.com. They are like the Amazon of the spirits industry. So what they're doing is they are hooking you up with other merchants that will ship to you. It's not like CaskCartel.com is sending it directly themselves. They're hooking you up with other places that will ship it directly to your door. But if you go to their Instagram at Cask Cartel, they're always doing awesome giveaways. They just did a big Pappy giveaway recently. They're always kind of sending things out. They sent some David Nicholson Reserve out to people. Some of that Yellowstone Select Limited Edition. They sent that out to their folks. So go ahead and follow them at Cask Cartel. You never know what you're going to get, but they are changing the industry standard in the liquor game. Zeke knows all about it. Everyone, Zeke's pretty salty tonight.
I'm Randy. I'm having
ready,
a good time.
I'm ready to talk to some other people. So, Chris, one of the things that's pretty cool is you actually made, and some people might know you in the Dads Drinking Bourbon group. You see some things that are out there. We're not going to name the name of the other things, but there are nosing kits out there that actually cost $200 or something crazy like that. And you were like, shoot, I can probably make that cheaper, right? Like you decided to make a nosing kit. You now have a little company, a little side hustle called Your Bourbon. Tell everyone a little bit about that, what you did, why you started it, all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you nailed it on the head. I was reading, reviews about different bourbons where people were picking up notes like allspice or nutmeg or black pepper, and it was just so specific, and I wasn't getting those notes. And I knew that it was just a lack of experience, a lack of training of my own palate, my own nose. And so I figured, I could just start by rating my own spice cabinet. If I can just pull some of those spices together, I sourced some of the ingredients from a local craft homebrew store. So you get corn and wheat and rye. I put the kit together initially really just for myself, just for a way to train my nose so I could pick up more of those notes. And a couple of my buddies started saying, hey, that's a really cool kit. Or is that something you're going to sell? And honestly, that was never something on my mind, but it started to gain some traction. And I recently worked with a graphic designer to put together some new labels and some new packaging for it. So I'm just super happy with how it turned out. And I'm so happy with all the traction that it's gaining.
That's awesome. In the beginning, it was almost incognito. There was no logo. You just kind of had the kit that was sent out. I don't even think you had labels for all the different spices and items that were in there. It was like a color-coded thing.
Yeah.
Now this is awesome. I mean, there's labels on everything. You got a slick logo. What else do you think you could do with these things? I mean, is there booklets you could put with it that get people to train as to how to actually nose their bourbon, or what works here?
Yeah, I mean, this is a bourbon nosing kit. So immediately I think, is there a rye nosing kit? I've had some questions come in about, how long do the kits stay fresh? Obviously, that you're talking about actual clove, actual nutmeg, actual, tobacco and different spices. So is there going to be a time where I need to, replenish those? And sure, maybe there's a refill system in place in the future. So I think the sky's the limit with that. I'm really super happy with how it's turned out.
So I feel it's kind of like, when you get a first aid kit, the first aid kit is going to have an expiration date on it. So maybe this, like that, you get it, you're like, this is good for 2 years, and then you're going to have to order a replenishment.
I love that model. Yeah, put it on a subscription.
Yeah, there you go. Zeke, have you played around with this thing yet?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Some of the things I think hit in spots where I thought they would, and then some things were a little not necessarily I think what I would expect going into it and seeing what's on the label. And I think in that regard, it's kind of interesting. Like, all right, would I still use the same note now, knowing that this is, the smell I got directly off of that? And, where would I change or kind of reconsider and I guess recalculate things almost? Like the vanilla was a true vanilla, like, almost, kind of the extract and cooking. But I think it's one of those things that kind of has various, I guess, amounts or different grades that all still smell like vanilla, but it's definitely kind of like a tier system or, similar. And the tobacco too was one I really thought, yes, it smells tobacco, but it's kind of like, you go through a cigar shop, you can see all the different, colors, the wraps, etc. It's all tobacco, but man, I mean, there's 42 to 100 more different smells you'll pick up, depending on the nuance you want to get into.
Yeah.
So I just thought things like that were interesting. Some of the stuff such as like black pepper and clove really kicked up, and it's like, all right, I definitely know when I smell that, and thank goodness I don't smell it to that degree, or I probably wouldn't drink what was in my glass. But it's really neat, not necessarily doing it blind, but like closing your eyes and just smell like, all right, what's the lid say? Oh, I got that one. I missed that one, here and there. But I think it'll definitely, it gives a new perspective on, as you nose through things and really try and go back to the olfactory senses as far as, what you are or not picking up and how, right or wrong you might be.
I think we could almost do some like Mr. Miyagi shit with this, where like you blindfold yourself and then you go back to it. So the only problem is I wouldn't trust Zeke to be honest with me if I got it right or not.
I think that goes beyond whiskey.
Yeah, I just don't trust him, period, with anything.
You telling me you don't think you'd know if I'd been to the gym and wrung out my shirt in a cup and put it under your nose?
Just have to look at you to know the answer to that.
I know you would do it. The answer is you messed with me. How bad was it? Like if someone was like, oh, is he messing with me? It's never a question, is he messing with me? It's how bad is he messing
So it's roadkill, but was it possum or crow?
You boys over here smell this nosing kit at all? Because I know John has a hard time saying, I don't really get into notes. Is this something you think could help?
It's hard
you?
because I feel like when you talk to a whole lot of people about different notes, they come up with the stock answer, which is like, if somebody goes, what does it smell like to you? I'm like, well, if I say the word peat and wheat and melon, I'm pretty good. But when he showed it to me earlier tonight, I smelled through the entire thing. Every sip I keep on taking, I'm trying to figure out what I'm smelling at this point. And like what I'm drinking right now, which is Weller 107.
Yeah.
I keep on sniffing it and smelling leather. So I'm wondering if, like, my question now is like, is that note right? Is it wrong? I don't know. I keep on going back and I smell it. Like, it's what I'm smelling.
There are no wrong notes
Yeah.
in whiskey.
Yeah, I think that's what's so cool. I mean, everybody's going to get something different out of it. Like, if you get allspice and I get clove and honey on something, that doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just like everybody's palate's different. You're going to pick up on different tasting notes for sure.
Yeah. I guess my one thing is, as I was going through the entire thing, everything has a really unique smell. But when I got to the corn, I can't smell the corn. And I don't know if like that's a personal thing or if it's a nose thing, but I'm not smelling corn.
Yeah.
Like,
I think your nose is probably broken.
Yeah, that's not the only thing broken in my life, but we'll take it.
Where can people find this? I mean, this just happens to be a cool thing. We are going to review an actual whiskey here, but where can people find your stuff?
My main storefront is through Etsy. So it's just Knows Your Bourbon is the handle there. Same with Facebook and Instagram also. So it's just Knows Your Bourbon.
Well, y'all check it out. After this episode, I know Chris will go ahead. We're giving him the admin approval to go ahead and put this on Dad's Drinking Bourbon right now. So go ahead and find Chris's thing. But we did, with this group, we couldn't go through and not actually review a whiskey. Now, we were sent this. Guys, if you look at the stats of this and the group that are around, I'm not sure if we are actually the clientele that this whiskey is targeting. The hardcore drinker, the guy that's going out and getting store picks and the highly allocated stuff. But we do live in Nashville, Tennessee. There are many people in this room that play country music. And this is Country Smooth. And it was established in MMXV. Anyone know when that was?
2005.
A little rusty on the Roman numerals.
I thought that was a wrestling championship that I missed.
So it is American Premium Whiskey, so it's not bourbon. American Premium Whiskey. It is 86 proof, and it is aged at least 6 months, and it was distilled in Lawrenceburg, bottled in Nashville, Tennessee. So this is some MGP that's aged at least 6 months. It's $25. Should have told you the price at the very end, but
What's the proof there again?
86.
Old 86er, huh?
Yeah.
Is that the year you were born, Zeke?
2. Well, and one thing I do want to say, too, that I think is a great aspect of the nosing kit is plenty of folks will always tell you that, you know, they're not good at notes or not necessarily, you know, familiar with putting them down or transcribing what they're picking up. That readily identifies most things for you. So, you know, if you have that there and you smell the glass and then you smell through that and then you say, all right, these 3 I'd put a thumbs up by. Well, then that gets them in the habit and the mode of taking notes, transcribing it, and being able to relate. Like, yeah, to me, I picked up this and this. Or I found these smells versus just smelled good or bad to me and tasted good or bad. So I think in that sense, as people want to dive into the hobby more, that's definitely the best bridge aspect of it to me, is that it will just make identifying various smells and things of that nature much more easier. And as they get in the habit of it, just flow easier.
The thing I think is missing in there, and I don't think it's in there. Do you have citrus?
I don't. I played around with some dried citrus, and it just didn't. It wasn't a strong, aroma. But hey, maybe there's a version 3 that's on the horizon.
Citrus is broad, though. I mean,
yeah.
I always feel like citrus is a cop out because, all right, well, what part of citrus? Lemon, lime, orange? Where are you going with that? Like, you can't just say citrus and leave it at that.
Yeah.
Kind of got like a tangerine note on the citrus thing.
Yeah.
Big fan of those little cuties you get at like Kroger.
Oh yeah,
dude,
But
like a
it's
pound.
such a broad statement.
It is.
No,
but tangerine is just like a wow.
Yeah.
Sweet citrus notes, vitamin C. If you
But I
need
say
that.
citrus because when I get youth, I get a lot of citrus. Lemon, lime, whatever it is, whatever you want me to call it,
Well, what type of citrus?
Lemon lime. I just told you. I just got lemon and lime.
So what if you got like orange zest off something? That'd be citrus.
Yeah, technically, you're probably right.
Got you.
I'm just saying. It's like those little, like, you talk about like tangerines or those little, like the small navel oranges. Like,
Yeah,
they're
man.
all a distinct smell. And if you eat it and you peel it and it's on your hands and your face, like, there's just such a plethora of options that are minuscule differences. But if it's in something that you eat and have as part of your diet, you know the difference. Like, and it is that pinpoint accuracy. I'm just saying it's one of those little nuances to where when you dive into that, if you want to get really particular, you can.
And this is why nosy notes are never wrong.
All right, so what do you guys get on this country smooth here?
I mean, clearly it's 6 months. It's young, but I do get a sweet corn, almost like a cream corn. There's a creaminess to it that I get. It's not off-putting young. It's just, like you said, for the heavy barrel-proof whiskey drinkers, that this is going to be something you need to be prepared that it's going to be a little different than that.
What else?
I was just
Gideon?
laughing because I wrote down sweet corn in my tasting notes, in my nosing notes. But I also wrote down like the tangerine thing, and then this is oddly specific, but purple sweet tarts. It's my favorite road snack.
Yeah.
It's my go-to every time.
Find myself like feeling like it's going to be vanilla caramel from the first sniff, and then when I taste it, it just kind of loses it just a touch, and I feel like it's a lot of corn. Once I taste it, I taste the corn more than I smell the corn.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, that's right. That's
Yeah.
how it would be.
Yeah,
There's still a lot of white dog left in this.
Yeah, it feels really young.
How many people have really had like, white dog when you go on a distillery tour or somewhere else?
Yeah.
Not necessarily moonshine, but you get a flash of sweet, and then behind that, a nice, or not, it's not nice, but a linger of white dog's pretty heavy.
I feel like this is not something that we would be drinking neat normally. And
No, that's right.
What I find myself kind of thinking about as I'm drinking this is, what would I mix it with? Like, what would complement the notes I'm getting of corn?
That's
and-
I didn't want to say that, but I feel like this is a mixer to me.
oh, it's absolutely.
It tastes
gotta
like
be
a mixer, and I wouldn't be offended by mixing it with something.
No.
I'd be offended if you didn't.
So I'm thinking like a Sprite would probably go well with this.
Or is this like a big rock and a lawnmower pour? Like, is this like
No.
No?
No,
I think you got to mix it with something.
I'm thinking like some crazy punch at some party.
Now,
Yeah,
if
I don't
you're
think Sprite
okay-
would do it. I mean, Sprite's a clear. There's no flavor in Sprite. I mean, there's mild citrus.
Well,
quote unquote.
John gets lemon and lime, so
He can't do two citruses at once, though. That's going to confuse him.
If I was drinking this in college, I'd drink all of it. Like, no doubt.
With what?
Some purple Shasta, a little grape Shasta.
I mean, maybe
Some
this is good with
surge.
Tang. You know, the tangerine part of it.
Let me take another taste and think
for
of Tang.
Gideon. We call it country Tang.
oh no, that would go great with Tang.
I hear the astronauts drink that, so I'm
They
sure
do.
they'd be down.
It's definitely got to be a flavored something. I don't think any clear anything would be enough to balance this out.
Well, if the astronauts would drink it and it survives in space, I mean, I can do that. A little bit of orange Fanta.
I think for the price, right? You're getting MGP. You're getting it's 6 month MGP, but you're getting MGP for $25. It's 86 proof. What I almost wonder is how many people. So here's where I think it's got an interesting play for regular whiskey drinkers. If you've got a home barrel, so say you got a liter barrel at home, is this something that you're buying for $25 that at 86 proof you're playing around with some other stuff and seeing what you could do with it?
Would you blend it or stick it in the corner in your barrel? Just let it sit and see what happens.
I think I'd do more than one thing.
Yeah.
You know, would this be the one you play around with, Z?
Either way, I'm surprised at you right now, Edwards. It's a redeeming moment. That was literally the thought I had was like, this would be interesting, one of those mini barrels. Like, see what happened to it.
Yeah.
Did I tell you this already or something?
No.
What would you blend it with? Like, personally, tasting it, now that you've tasted it a few times, what would you put into your mini barrel?
First, I'd do it by itself and give it like just literally like 3 or 4 weeks.
Sure.
Not long at all.
See what happens.
I mean, most people that have mini barrels, they tinker with them from time to time. I think a lot of folks just use them for barrel aged old fashions
Sure.
because it's literally on tap.
Yeah.
If you've got, if you're entertaining at all, or even if you just like an old fashioned yourself, you come home, hit the spout in the barrel, put over a little bit of ice,
A little sugar.
you're done. You don't have to make a cocktail. Cocktail's already done. Even got a little age to it and character, so you're in the spot you want to be. that's where I found that space, but I still think I must have told John this at some point.
No, because you haven't had this before tonight. I popped this open for us right now.
I'm watching you, buddy.
I'm in your head. What I would say is that this is at 80, it's 86 proof, so I wouldn't expect to get a burn that way, but I'd expect to get a burn from the youth. It is somewhat like the name suggests. It is kind of country smooth.
No, it's kind of clean on top.
Yeah.
It's clean, but it's a little rough at the same time in the way that it's a little country. Like
No, I think the name, what you're saying, the country smooth, makes sense. Like it's a little country. It's a little like it. It's a little backwoods, but it's really smooth and clean on top.
I
Doesn't
feel like-
hurt you.
See if it burns when you snort it.
I'm not doing that.
That's your job, Zeke.
I feel like it's got a little mud on the boots, but
At least
You know,
something
it's
does.
got a-
You don't.
it's got a nice button-down shirt on.
No, I think you got it right. It's got mud on your boots, but it's not going to put mud on your tires.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
somewhere in the middle.
On your chest.
Nor hair on your chest. You're right. Everybody, are you a buy or are you a bar or are you going to sit this one out? So let's start with our guest, Chris.
This one, I mean, at the price point at a bar, if the moment's right, it's not going to be very expensive. Give it a shot. I think especially as it gets older, it's just going to continue to improve.
Well, the question is, are they going to age it longer?
That is the question.
I don't know the answer. I would assume no.
Okay, fair enough.
It did say they've been in business since '05, right?
MMXV.
Yeah, that's 2000.
Yep.
Oh, it's 15. There we go.
I was letting Zeke go as long as he could with that.
Just so you know, that's the Russian Sasha Ostrovsky from Darius Rucker's band who came up with the Latin MX, whatever it was, WWE.
XV.
So X is 10, V is 5.
There you go. But who knows what L or D are?
What? So L is
You sure don't.
50.
I do.
L is 50. I don't know. I just know you love the D.
Oh,
D is 500. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So Zeke likes a really big D.
Yeah, that's why we're friends.
Yeah.
or 500 of them. I'm not
I don't know
sure.
what that means. It feels weird.
So Gideon, what about you?
Man,
Where are you on this?
I might be a pass on this one. It's a little young for me, to be honest.
Fair.
About where I'm at. I mean, if it was maybe 2 years, I'd maybe give it a shot. Because I've had a lot of 2-year MGP that I'm all right.
But do
See
you
where
think the
this is
price
going.
point would still be $25 if this was 2-year MGP?
No, it'd probably shoot up to 35 or 40-ish, I would imagine.
And then you'd have to think, am I gonna do this for 2-year at 86 proof? Is this where I want to be for $40?
Yeah, even then, I mean, I still might be a pass on it.
Fair enough. John, where are you?
I think at $15, I'm mixing it with a Diet Coke. That's kind of where I feel I'm at with it. Like, it's just really young. It is smooth. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't bite. It's a mixer. Where it is currently, I personally think I would put it with a Diet Coke, but other than that, I don't think I'm doing it.
Now, I just wonder if MGP even sells barrels at a point that you could put something out. It is a non-distilling producer for, Country Smooth. They're not actually distilling this. They are at MGP in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. I don't know if MGP sells Country Smooth barrels at a price that they could put out at $15.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Their stocks did take a hit,
Their stocks did just take a hit this week, but
like a 25% hit, didn't it?
yeah. Zeke, where are you on this one?
I mean, for $25 and something with a proof in the 80s, I'm gonna get a handle of vodka. Pickers probably.
I'm torn because I almost want to get one of these just to play in the barrel, but I don't know. I just don't think it's like I said in the beginning. I don't think we're the clientele for this.
Yeah.
I would get it at a bar if it was mixed in a cocktail.
I feel like if you stuck this in a watermelon, you might find the flavor you're looking for. Or a mango, some type of fruit to mix with it.
And there was a cookout involved.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I think there's applications for it. I
don't think it's horrible. I don't think it's horrible.
I don't think it's meant for the people that are sitting at the whiskey house right now on a Saturday night having pours together. I just don't think we are the right clientele for it. But I think depending on what you're trying to do, if you're trying to make some juice for the backyard, or you're trying to do, you're having a cookout, you're making a big old thing of punch.
Yeah, I don't think it's an unusable bottle. I think you just got to use it in the right spot.
But I think for the price, are you then looking at different things other than this? Zeke,
I concur.
All of our glassware is provided by distilleryproducts.com.
Maybe.
Maybe. You should know this. They
involves-
have been doing it for a long time.
I know, but it involves paying attention to you.
I know it
regular
involves
basis.
paying attention to me. Zeke, if you were to go to any of the distilleries in town and say, where do you get your glassware? Chances are they're going to tell you it's distilleryproducts.com. Whether or not you want a laser edge Glencairn, you want a wee Glencairn, you want a Tua glass, you want the neat glass, whatever it is, they have it. And Zeke, the only other place I've ever seen getting the wee Glencairns is Heaven Hill Distillery. But distilleryproducts.com has them, and they're ready to put your logo on them. If you're a distillery or a bourbon group, whatever you are, they also have decanters, they have koozies, they have flasks. So if you want me to hook you up with distilleryproducts.com, just send me a message. I'll be happy to hook you up with Vicky, Carson, all the other folks there. They're great people. I want you to know about them too. Chris, thank you so much for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure, and this whiskey house never gets old. It is absolutely a sight to see.
I think at some point, probably, once this episode comes out in the, the Dad's Facebook group, there'll probably be a promo something on the nosing kits.
There will actually. I've got a promo code set up for everybody in Dad's Drinking Bourbon. It's DDB10, which gives 10% off any order. So check that out. DDB10.
Perfect. Gideon, besides playing some awesome tunes for Cash Campbell, you also are slinging some great coffee. I do want to give a plug. Whiskey Note Coffee is great. As you are, we've talked about on the show before, you are a musician in Nashville, which means you're not rich, because you're not the guy out there writing the music. You're the guy out there playing the music and making it better. So you were a barista for a very long time.
I was about 5 years.
And you decided that you could make better coffee. You could make some whiskey aged coffee, and it's called Whiskey Note, right?
Yes, sir. We saw like a gap in the marketplace where we thought we could do barrel aged coffee a little bit better than some of the competitors around the country. So we decided to take it on and see if we could do it better. And yeah, thusly, Whiskey Note Coffee was born. It's all roasted locally here in Nashville, Tennessee. So check us out if you want.
Awesome. Where can they find you? Whiskey Note.
Yeah, add the Whiskey Note on Instagram and whiskeynotecoffee.com.
Perfect. John, thank you so much for being on.
Oh, my pleasure.
And I'm just going to make sure you're an enigma. If people want to find you, you're probably touring around the country with the Dad's Drinking Bourbon shirt on
That's
stage someplace.
Slapping the bass.
Yeah, my wife tells me I wear it way too much.
Do I need to get you a Diapers Bottles Bourbon one?
So I don't have one. So I think it's important.
Okay.
If you come see Darius Rucker on tour this year and I'm not wearing a diaper shirt, something's wrong.
I didn't tell
I don't even know what the rest
everyone
of it says.
this,
It just
but
has to say diaper.
do we want to say this at the very end? I was hiding it, but you do play bass for Darius Rucker.
I do. Yeah.
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 So I'm not going to sing. Zeke,
You
I'm
should
not
sing.
gonna do
Thank
it.
I feel
God.
like you should sing. I
want
feel like
to.
this is the moment. I've heard you sing so many times. You should just bust it out.
I really want
It's
to
the
do
end
it.
of the episode.
Just do it.
Everybody dials out.
Yeah,
by
nobody's
now.
even listening. You and me. Do it.
Man, give us that good outro. Give us the good outro music.
No, I mean, I would be safe. Like, right now, I don't think Darius is going to sue us with two of his band members in the room. But
Yeah, I don't think. I think you're good.
you and me, you don't think. Oh.
Well, you got the words wrong anyway. So the copyright's no good anyway. Yeah.
Your one moment there, buds.
Even the steel player went, "Oh, I don't think that's right."
You always laugh at me when I smell corn on whiskey.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Just change the words.
Nothing I can do.
I only
I'm
want to
stuck
drink
with
with
you.
All right, people can go ahead and find us at Dad's Drinking Bourbon on Instagram, Bourbon Dads on Twitter, Dad's Drinking Bourbon on Facebook. You can find us wherever you download your podcasts. Zeke, where else can the folks find us?
Music City, USA. Woo.
Cheers.
Ciao.